Hi, this is Kelly Glick, and this is my intro video for EDL 850 School Law. Now, I'm going to start with a little bit of a personal introduction. I grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and lived there until I went to college, and then spent about 5 years in Virginia, and then moved back to Pennsylvania prior to coming to Fort Collins, Colorado, where I've been for the last 21 years. I have one kid, one dog, and one cat that keep me quite busy. And obviously, I moved to the mountains for a reason. Love nature, love the mountains, love rocks, love animals, and just laughing, being with friends. So that is truly who I am and what brings me joy. On a professional level, I'm actually a social worker and didn't intend to be in education and landed there. And I've been in the Poudre School District in Fort Collins for the past 19 years. So obviously this is where I was meant to be, and I just didn't realize it at first. But I work as a mental health specialist in the Poudre School District. I've been assigned to many different K-12 schools. Currently I'm just at Rocky Mountain High School, which is a 9th through 12 comprehensive high school with about 2,000 students in it, but that could change in future years as well. So I'm really motivated by big challenges, gaps in services, filling those needs. Things need to happen fast and efficiently and need to be based on research. I really like being on committees where we're very visionary and plan for the future and what's best for kids. I'm really interested in mindfulness, how that works with depression, anxiety, stress, body and brain therapies that are coming out that have been beneficial for trauma. And then I'm also obviously interested in what administrators do and what all is behind their jobs. And so those are some of the things that I'm always seeking more information on and more training on as I go through and about my day and through my job. So as far as what my administrator knows, talking just for Rocky, clearly our administrators are well versed in special ed law. In fact, they actually spend individual site funding to hire extra paraprofessionals because what the law says about how kids need to have their needs met and the funding we have don't match. And so that I know that our building tries to make up some of that ground with our own staffing money as opposed to district money that's allocated for special ed kids. I know that there's many manifestation hearings that can go either way because kids are caught with drugs and alcohol, suspended, and then they have to figure out if that's part of their disability or not. So it feels like there's a lot of constant talking and meeting and following those guidelines in the high school that I'm in. I also feel like they're very well versed in district policies on hiring, termination, evaluation, all those things. You can just tell in the language and how much they market, our administrators kind of market that information to our staff that they're following policies that have been laid out at the state or district level. The only place I'm unclear about with our administrators, it seems sometimes that individual students have more of a right to be in school with unsafe behaviors as opposed to the rights of like the general student body to be safe from those students. That seems to be a real conflict. I added a link on the bottom of my slide that just talks in general about, well, it's actually our code of conduct for the 2018-2019 school year. And sometimes I don't think that our deans necessarily follow that to a T. I think that kids are given a lot of leeway in our building, and I'm not positive about that. Obviously, I need to learn more about that myself, but sometimes it seems like individual students have more of a right to education than the general student body does to a safe environment. So just to go quickly, our district has about 1 million policies that look just like this that have to do with safety and all kinds of things for students. Obviously, they follow state and federal guidelines, very well spelled out. Anybody can look them up. This is just a very few examples. And then as far as my knowledge, because I come from kind of a therapist social worker standpoint, I'm really well versed on confidentiality and HIPAA laws. I don't know as much about FERPA and basically everything else that has to do with school laws. I especially don't know much about Every Student Succeeds Act and need to learn more about that. So my learning plan is to take this class to really look at policies. If I were to get an administrator job, I would want to seek out lots of classes, reading, maybe join professional groups around administration that would allow me to catch up and keep up on these topics. And just in closing, I picked a quote, that old law about an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. The time is always right to do the right thing. Obviously, we need to make good ethical decisions on a regular basis, but absolutely know the laws and the policies behind that. So thanks. I look forward to taking this class with all of you, and have a great rest of your day.